So wonderful. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to everyone. I know that there are so many people joining from all over the world. So warm welcome again to Wirepas GO 2020. Ben, Jani, and I are extremely happy to see so many of you connected with us. And this is obviously the subject of this section. This is about us, about all of us. It's about the power of the ecosystem, how together we have been able to deliver amazing solutions to the market, how we have managed to go beyond the POC syndrome that we all know and we all hate. Okay, so we are moving now really to production and volume delivery, and how together we have managed to accelerate the deployment of real use cases and deliver high volume. And of course, it's also about how we shall continue growing together to grow the market. So some of you, of course, know us, but for those who don't, my name is Youssef Kamel. I'm heading the Ecosystem and Partners Organization, and I'm very, very pleased to be with you today. I will let Jani introduce himself, and of course, as soon as Ben is joining us, he will also introduce.
Yeah, my last name will be the longest part of the introduction. So my name is Jani Vehkalahti, and I'm heading a global sales at Wirepas, and I'm very excited to be with you. So I know that the time is not the ideal for all of you. So good morning, good evening, good night, and good day.
Okay, excellent. So before we start, I want to thank in advance all of the speakers and panelists of Wirepas GO 2020. We have an incredible lineup of companies supporting Wirepas with the event and willing to share their views and contribute. This is really overwhelming for us. And I want to say we are delighted to have you with us. And I'm sure everyone is excited to hear your views, your discussions, and your presentation. So a big thanks to all of the contributors here. And you can see the logos of all the companies directly participating live to this event. I also want to thank and warmly welcome hundreds of Wirepas partners that are joining us in this event. And of course, all of the partners to be. This is really the forum to get to know each other and mutually grow a business and hopefully sign more deals together. So for your information, at every Wirepas GO up till now, a lot of our partners, companies, and ourselves have managed to meet each other, but also to really sign very concrete deals together. So please don't hesitate to continue the very good tradition. So what is this ecosystem about, and what do we connect? So since day one, Wirepas' mission has been to connect things at very large scale. Wirepas Mesh, as you know, connects things with other things. Thanks to its decentralized nature, it connects things, then to the cloud or to on-premise servers. But also in what we do, of course, the mesh layer system connects nicely with nicely defined APIs to the underlying radio abstraction layer and to the application layer. So we connect basically things to things, cloud with things, and of course also technology with things. But this is of course from a technology standpoint. But more importantly, since day one, Wirepas has understood that no company can deliver the full end-to-end IoT systems for the thousands of use cases by itself. I'm sure you agree, the IoT market calls for a very high level of collaboration between partners so that together we can deliver full systems and accelerate the deployment cycles. This is the reason why, since day one, we have worked together with our partners, integrating our technologies to serve common end users. And of course, Wirepas go-to-market model is all about ecosystem build-up and the joint success of all of us on the market. So today we are extremely proud to have hundreds of partners delivering Wirepas ready products to many markets. And today this is a great opportunity to grow even further this ecosystem and of course to continue winning business together. But before we move on to the next section, I want to start with a very short quiz.
Hey, Youssef, I think it would be easier for the guys if you disable your camera so they get the picture.
That's great. I'll do that immediately.
And then for the who are joining, so you can get this even bigger if you double-click the video stream of the presentation. So then you can get rid of the chat window on the right. But go on, Youssef.
Okay. Well, thanks for the hint, Jani. So basically, what is common? So I'm starting with a very short quiz. What is common between a warehouse, a light, a mall, an asset tag, a building, a pallet, a desk, a container, a dispenser in a washroom, a pump, a gateway, a parcel in a truck, a smart meter, a construction worker, a refinery, a hotel room, a beer in a tap? Well, I guess you all found the solution. These are all connected by Wirepas, but more importantly, the reason we managed to deploy all of these use cases together has been that we managed to connect partners together, and partners managed to connect us with use cases, and of course, we all managed to connect devices and applications. So it's really all about making sure that we collaborate, we work hard to integrate our technology together, and we finally deliver real use cases that serve the IoT market. With this, I'll leave the ground to Jani for the rest of the presentation.
Okay, thank you, Youssef. So very good introduction to the use case that we've been going through, and it's great to see those in the mass deployments today already. So really the thing is that the power of the ecosystem are around the Wirepas. So we have a plenty of hardware because our software is being integrated and embedded into the hardware itself to generating a network. So we have a growing and versatile ecosystem of the radios, devices, and gateway manufacturers. But then you need to get the data out of the devices and kind of displaying that for the guys. And there you need a system integrators and solution vendors and cloud partners, which are also existing there, and the integration is in place. All of these are enablers then for the solution providers and service providers on the market, and of course the end customers. So we are enriching our product as Wirepas. Our partners are creating a better product and better services, offering those to the end customers, receiving a constant feedback, but also not only the feedback to make this product better, but there is coming more opportunities from the market, which we are of course sharing with the ecosystem. So that's a big power of the ecosystem, is actually making a much more business in a much more faster space. Next one. Youssef.
Yeah.
So how do we do it? So Youssef already started that there is these two parts. There is business part and then there's technology part. So let's start with the business. So we really enjoy the diversity of the use cases, which are all, of course, in a massive scale, but there is a plenty of use cases which are enriching our product. We focus in massive cases. We are directly engaging with the market leaders to get the feedback and react. We collaborate with partners. We are doing the matchmaking, and all important is getting really time to market the solutions to the end customers. And in a technology-wise, that's enabling. So joining and roaming. So in the track that I'm hosting, the Smart Places, the first panel topic will really discuss that the how to make this deployment faster, and technology is needed to enable the joining to the network. We have also seen that the power of the open source. So the more you have a reference, the more you speed up the ecosystem. There is a cloud APIs which are enabling anyone to integrate Wirepas-based products to their solutions. Over the air, so Knut from IoT Analytics were referring to Tesla that they were driving the OTA for the car industry. IoT, many people are forgetting that how important it is to update the software on the field. Diagnostic and monitoring, so the bigger you go, the more you need to understand of the network. Or actually you'll need to understand, but you need to monitor that how the devices are there. And then location and position, so whenever you cut the wires, you need to know the location, and that's what we enable. Next one. And it's all about the partner collaboration. So Wirepas alone, even that how great our technology is developed over the 20 years, we are nothing. We are as strong as our ecosystem is. So we really engage with our ecosystem partners, and we are happy to see the more and more companies joining with us and making this stronger. Next one. So then a couple of examples of successful collaboration with partners. So if I look back, so still in like 5 years ago, there were so many companies who wanted to build everything by themselves, and including the part that we are implementing in the protocol software. The thing is that it just takes way too much time, and does it really kind of, can every company be the specialist in every single topic? I read somewhere that in IoT use cases, you need to have 20 puzzles in place to make end-to-end solution, and we see that in the practice. And can you master the 20 pieces in the end-to-end chain? I think the simple answer, you can't. So you need to collaborate with the partners. Here are the couple of examples where we have seen a very good collaboration among our ecosystem. These are just a snapshot, so not of course all. So Prologis will talk about the smart warehouses later today. There is a Real Logic which has done smart workspaces. Weisberger, which has been really providing a data out of the bars, now enriching even more data thanks to the sensors. Then Salzer, which is really performing well in the pump sector. So they are mastering the pumps, but they are not mastering in a wireless and not necessarily a sensor side itself. So it's good to have partners which know that side. Schaeffler, so Richard from Schaeffler will explain that case later today. And then Ensto is coming from the lighting business, where they are not the driver manufacturer. They are not necessarily the one who master the application development for the lighting. So they combine with the Mount Kelvin, Helvar and Danlers to make a complete lighting package. And then of course everything is based on the chips. So very good cooperation with the Nordic and Sileps, providing a best performing radios on the market. Next one. So there's one specific segment where we see a rapid growth and opportunities, and that's asset tracking. And in asset tracking, it doesn't matter what is being traced and tracked and positioned. Use case is pretty much always the same. You have an item that you need to find, and then of course when further you go, then you need the different capabilities of the product. How do you connect that, attach that to the asset? What's the battery life? what are the mechanical requirements, is there something specific sensor data required. But generically, there's a lots of now attacks available in the ecosystem. So there's two cases where we have demonstrated a very fast. So Truxens, Youssef, remind me the company with the D. Yeah, which is part of Puig corporation in industrial building, and they were utilizing the Wirepas tags out of the ecosystem and Solitron Gateway, Omniscient software, getting very fast on the market. NHS, International Healthcare in UK, and they needed a rapid deployment of the asset tracking in a hospital, and due to the COVID situation, you cannot actually allow the external installers getting in. And what Wirepas Ecosystem enabled is that the ecosystem could provide very quickly the products onto the hospital, and hospital maintenance personnel could done the installation by themselves. Next one. So there is a UMC Utrecht medical clinic case where they want to improve the hospital logistics and efficiency with the IoT. So Fujitsu and Ingip set it up a very nice sub ecosystem around them, providing a very fast project for the UMC, that demonstrating that how you can track pretty much everything in a hospital in a very cost efficient way, and implementing that quickly. So great example of putting it together, the Ingi GUI, UMC, Indoors, Wirepas, Fujitsu, Simplinic, and Think. So it's really demonstrated that everything can collaborate. Youssef, over to you.
And this is one of the scenarios that SNCF, which is French National Railway Company, must plan for when they carry out tunnel work. Of course, in the underground tunnels, the risk of cave-ins, gas line breaches, water line flooding, fire, and other dangers are real. And as part of keeping workers safe and secure, SNCF needs to know where all the workers are at any given time. And they also need, of course, a reliable way to tell every worker to evacuate immediately in case of emergency, and to know exactly where to send rescue teams if workers were trapped underground. So this project has been an extremely successful project where the Wirepas-based system was deployed by our very good partner, ELA Innovation. So they were actually the system integrator here, and they also delivered the tags. The gateways were provided by our partner SolidRun, and Synox was providing the software solution. And what is great about this use case is that the whole installation was done in a matter of hours, and the system was completely autonomous. This is another example where cooperation between partners has brought significant time to market and user experience benefits.
Can you hear me now, Youssef?
Yes, we can hear you, Ben.
Perfect.
Welcome, Ben.
Thank you. Sorry about the troubles. My work laptop was not cooperating with me. So thank you both for that excellent deep dive. You know, continuing on that track, we're really focused on building out these partner solutions here at Wirepas. And one of the things that's really happened over the last couple of years is we've built up this true ecosystem of partners who are able to deliver multiple solutions that are able to solve problems for our customers. And the exciting part of kind of where we're at this point is you can take any of these sensors and tags on the left, you can pair them with the gateways in the middle and move them over to the cloud solutions on the right. And this ability to kind of pick and choose as you build out your solutions really is what we think empowers the ecosystem to really accelerate. It means that end customers have the comfort of knowing that there is a solution behind all of this. And if one vendor is not able to perform, they have a backup solution. They have options on how they can roll things out. It means as you're building out your ecosystems, you can rely on Wirepas to have your back on how we deploy these different types of things. And I think we've spent a lot of time here at Wirepas building out the tools that make this simple. So starting on the tag side, we really have an SDK that is now open on GitHub, that is easy to integrate, has lots of examples, and make it so that you can take those examples and turn them into lots of different solutions that all can be on-air compatible with each other. And then we've built out, similarly, completely open source reference code for how gateways work, and documented that and really built out entire solutions to make that possible to integrate, so that you can grab gateways from different providers and really expect a lot of the back end and front end of that to work very similarly between the different options, so that you can go to market with the best solution for your particular application. Then we've really standardized all of our cloud offerings on Docker, and building that out so we can run on any of the cloud providers, as well as on-premise solutions, so that it gives you ultimate flexibility in how you deploy things. So we really are focused on this option aspect of the ecosystem. So as you've heard Teppo mention earlier, we've had a few of these Wirepas GOs in the past, and I've been fortunate enough to be involved in all of them. This is my first one as a Wirepas employee, and having been a customer and a partner in the past, the first Wirepas GO was about Wirepas defining new markets that it was entering, things like lighting and tracking, and expanding on the IoT applications that it had been working on for years. And it was about basically building up that ecosystem, getting people to start engaging with the company on how we build out this ecosystem. And then our second Wirepas GO was about how successful those first folks had been, and going and kind of showing off a bit of where they were in their development process and kind of how things were looking. And I'm really thrilled that at this Wirepas GO, what we're focused on is how these solutions that started in the last couple of years are really turning into practical, real world deployed solutions that are solving true business cases for people. And so, I think that excitement is what we really want to bring throughout this event. So we look at Wirepas GO 2020, and it's about sharing experience and use cases, giving you the opportunity to talk to the experts that are going through all this and exchange ideas on how that works, and learn the lessons learned from the people who have done this ahead of you, and what pitfalls you should avoid. It's next about exchanging market ideas and updates and vision, and really understanding where all of this is going, getting those binoculars on and figuring out how to trudge through this market together as an ecosystem. We want you to discuss technology and trends. How do we take examples like this, where you have unconnected, very hard to understand processes, digitalize them and make that data available to your end customers? How do you expand your reach and bridge the gap between where you're at and where our partners are in the ecosystem, and being able to take that and leverage the off-the-shelf pieces and the integrations and the services that this ecosystem provides, and taking that to the next piece and actually meeting those folks, engaging with them, reaching out and creating actual partnerships. Obviously, no handshaking is permitted at this event due to COVID, but we encourage you to keep that art of the building those relationships up. And finally, we want you to be focused on making deals, figuring out how you build your solutions for the future, and really focusing on what partners do you think and do you find in this event that can be great for you to help build your solution into IoT deployments. So we've got a handful of different tracks and panels that you can be focused on over the next couple hours here as you dive in with us. And that looks like things like smart lighting, where Alan and Youssef are going to take you through lots of different partners who have enabled smart lighting and are working at the forefront of where smart lighting is going. It looks like tracking and asset management applications of kind of how do you find objects in a building? How do you track people? How do you understand how all the devices out in the field are being used? Things like smart spaces is the next track with Thomas and Jani, really diving into how do you know what's going on in your office? How do you know what's going on in your factory? How do you figure out how to automate those processes and get real informative data that can help you make new decisions? Then the ecosystem track, we're going to go through how do you engage with partners on lots of different levels, from solution providers to cloud vendors to gateway folks, and really dive into how do you make those decisions on who's a right ecosystem partner. And finally, in the technical track, Joni and Ville and the team here at Wirepas are going to dive into the details of how we have implemented these solutions at Wirepas. So we encourage you to jump back and forth in these tracks to the relevant pieces for your business and find the right partners and learn the right information about what's going on at Wirepas. We really want to focus on finding those matchmaking opportunities. The tool here should allow you to connect with any other participant here at Wirepas GO and schedule a meeting with them. So identify who is the right people for your business. Figure out how you accelerate your opportunities without deploying everything from scratch and developing that all yourself. And finally, engage with those people. Start those one-on-one meetings here, and then take them outside of Wirepas and continue to grow and nurture them as things goes on. So we encourage you to enjoy this event. Thank you for participating. We're really looking forward to this being engaging. Please continue to ask questions throughout the event. And let us know if you have any questions. You can reach out to any of the Wirepas staff, and we'll be happy to help.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and looking forward to see you in the tracks.
Have a great Wirepas GO 2020 with us.
Enjoy.